and Jill on the mic. It's about to get real. Keep it live, that's right. From Pennsylvania to across the globe, it's time for the Steelers All-Star Show.
Welcome to the Steelers by the Lake podcast. My name is James Crow, joined once again by my co-hosts Cody Tanner and Joe from Ohio, a.k.a. the Pittsburgh Daughter. Nick unable to join us this morning. He's a little bit busy these days.
Yeah, we wonder what that could be.
All we'll say is congratulations to Nick and his wife. They brought a new member of the family in. That's all we're saying. Nick's saying the rest of it. But congratulations to them.
The world
Jill,
has one more Steelers fan.
How are we doing this morning, Jill?
Listen, I am officially on summer break.
Hey,
Kids, I can love them from afar now and relax and recharge to get ready for a new school year. Come August, when it's the best time of the year, when it's football and it's school and the leaves are changing. But for right now, I'm ready to enjoy summer. Cody, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic. We have a late recording today. It's already 9 o'clock, and I already have my 7 brew. It's not gone somehow, but I am doing fantastic. The Tennessee rain has come, and it's here for apparently the next week. But it is a good time to talk Steelers football, so we're all excited for this. James, how are you?
we got April showers still going on in May here, so I'm going to join you guys. And crack the top here, get some energy going on this morning so I can put an entertaining show together. We're always trying to do that for you guys. But some fun topics we've got to talk about today, right?
Yeah.
First off, new draft pick, certainly going to the Hall of Fame now. He gets a new jersey number. He told us he was going to do it. He said, don't worry about 42. I'm not keeping 42. Caden Wheatgen, the returner from Iowa, gets jersey number 10.
We love.
What number was Roman Wilson?
Roman went to 14.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
He switched to wasn't that his number in college?
Correct.
That's much better. Much better. 10 is a much better number for him. I think we if you guys listened to our jersey talk when the rookies finally got their jersey numbers, we were very upset with Caden's number. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel appropriate. And seeing number 10 take some punts and kickoffs back is going to feel like the good old Santonio Holmes days. So hopefully we get to see 10 running up and down the field, making players miss.
We love it.
Yeah, Santonio, Martavis Bryant was 10 too. Like, we've had some really good wide receivers wearing number 10. So I love the upwards trajectory of his career already off of this fantastic decision.
Yes.
Cordell Stewart, a big one as well.
Cordell Stewart was number 10.
Right?
Yeah. So we have some heavy hitters. All I thought of when I saw number 10, I was like, all right, Tony Two-Tap, I'm ready. In my mom's game room. So
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So lots of fun stuff coming out of OTAs for any of you unfamiliar. This is organized team activities. This time of season, it is voluntary, so they're not required to be there. Kind of an odd thing. Rico Dowdle has not shown up for it yet. Not required to be there. Nope. He has been in a Mike McCarthy offense before, so really probably not the biggest adjustment for him. That is giving Caleb Johnson some burn with the number 1, so great opportunity for him. Maybe the biggest topic, though, is this offensive line. We've got the 2 rookies. Where's everybody going to go? What positions are they playing now? And we got some clarity as far as the first couple practices and where these guys lined up.
Yeah. Obviously, the first line that we saw from these OTAs was Troy Fatanu being on the left side, playing that left tackle position, which was what he played in college predominantly. So it's very interesting to see him make that transition back. Mason McCormick at the left guard position, which, man, every time I hear left guard and think of Pittsburgh Steelers, I think of dominance. So I'm hoping he can get in there and follow up the Alan Fanekas of the world. So excited for that. Zach Frazier at center. That's not going to change. We talked about that before. Pray to God he stays healthy because I'd never want to see another Steeler take the snap at center for the next 15 years, if not more. So, and then you also had Spencer Anderson taking snaps at number 1 right guard. Very intriguing. I think, again, the side that he's more predominantly played in his career, if I'm not mistaken. and then Dylan Cook being the starting right tackle. Anderson and Cook obviously being the guys that we've talked about making the team on the back end of the roster, getting those number one starts. And I love to see that because that's going to tell you right there how good your backups are. Because there's no way that Dunker and Max are not starting, week one. So this is really going to test those guys and see if they're ready to come in, barring an injury or something else happening. So.
And I really like that Fautanu and McCormick are still sitting on the same side together. I think they even McCormick made the comment that he wouldn't want to be next to anybody else except
Fautanu.
So
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool that they're making the move together. And didn't McCormick play left in college as well?
Yep.
Absolutely.
So they're both going back to their college position. And I mean, it just goes to show, again, the Steelers really care about a versatile offensive line. They want to make sure that they're developing this line so that they can play either side of the ball, but like sparing injuries and whatnot. And so seeing this lineup, and not only that, but I like seeing the fresh set of eyes for the coaches, because I feel like the way they're lining this up, even including like Caleb Johnson and those team one snaps, it goes to show that they're actually looking with a fresh set of eyes for what the talent they have in front of them is. And so I thought it was interesting that Anderson and Cook are on the same side. I'm curious to see what that will develop, because again, we've talked about how they are solid. I put more stock in Anderson than I do Cook. But Cook has been a solid backup for us. And so to see them take these pretty important snaps, again, just at OTAs, so it's not crazy legwork here, but it's still cool to see that lineup.
Absolutely. I like this because first off, we're getting guys back to their natural college positions. So anybody that's concerned about, oh gosh, here goes Pittsburgh moving guys around on the offensive line again, this never ends well. Well, actually, it usually does end well. It's more rare that somebody can't make these switches than they can, but this is not moving them to new positions. It's moving them to positions that they excelled at college, that they were so good at college that we decided to draft them.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned about those guys moving. Like Jill mentioned, I love those two sticking together, Troy and Mason. Obviously, there's a very serious bond between the two of them, and they played at a very high level on the right side together. So if they end up starting on the left side together, I'm extremely comfortable with that. Yeah. But I love that the coaching staff is kind of going into this with, hey, what happened before did happen, and it does matter, but let's just start with a clean slate. Who's most comfortable where? Turns out Spencer Anderson is most comfortable at right guard and has stated that. He's not as comfortable playing on the left side, and that's where he played most of his ball with us so far, is on the left side, because that's just where the opportunities arose as far as injuries. Dylan Cook is versatile. He can play either side, but I like that you're not just handing the job to the rookie right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens. Let's make him earn it. I do believe he will earn it, and he will earn it pretty quickly. Jennings Dunker, it's going to be a move no matter what, right? Most of his college tape is right tackle. He's not going to play tackle for us. He's going to play one of the guard positions. So why not let him play both in the preseason and see what he's best at? If for some reason he's way better on one side than the other, well, then maybe we split up the Troy Fautanu and Mason McCormick duo, and we put Jennings Dunker over there on the left and leave Mason on the right. If that's what's the best starting five with the best chemistry, then that's what I want. So I'm excited about seeing these guys moving around, and I'm hoping to see them move a lot in the preseason as well, just so that we can figure it out. What is the best combination? Who can do what the best?
Oh, and I like the thought. I mean, I don't want to split up if there's good chemistry between McCormick and Fautanu, which we've seen over the years. I don't love the idea of splitting them up, but I also don't love the idea of day one it being two vets and two rookies. So you split them up a little bit where you have like the vet and the rookie on one side, the vet and the rookie on the other side, and then, get to experiment from there. But it could be, there's a lot of fun possibilities that are at play here. And we unfortunately just lost James. He's having power issues.
Yep, he's back now, so we're good.
Welcome back.
Power went out for a second there. Sorry about that.
You're all good.
Power issues.
My thing with this is offensive line, in my mind, outside of the quarterback and his wide receivers, outside of that, I think the offensive line group is the number one, especially on the offense, the number two, I should technically say, group that needs to have chemistry, that needs to know what each other's thinking at all times, needs to know, hey, what's the plan? What's the move? Very excited to hopefully see these guys spending some time together at OTAs or after OTAs. And even once they get to Latrobe and they're spending time, hanging out, actually getting to know each other. If you're familiar with the 70s Steelers team, that was a team that was very competitive with each other. The relationships they had together was what really grew them into championship football team. And I feel like you see that a lot of the times every year with certain teams. It's the teams that got really close together that fight for each other, that have each other's back. When we won with Big Ben Roethlisberger and it was Jerome Bettis' last game, everyone was fighting for Jerome. And so I'm not saying we need one player to fight for, but that offensive line, I want to see them build that chemistry, build the communication. Listen, I want to be able to be on the line and just bump somebody, and they know what that means. You know what I mean? Like just catching up blitzes, being able to destroy other teams in that defensive front. Really excited to see what they can do.
I do like that. And then I have lots of thoughts apparently today, but I do wonder what this means for Jones and his recovery and where he fits, because we've seen not great play when he was on the right side. And so to see Fautanu McCormick move to the left side where he normally would fit in. So I'm just a little curious about what the road for Jones is looking like right now.
Imagine us coming out. Just imagine us coming. I've never seen it happen except for the really big dumb plays where the entire offensive line moves to like the left side of the field to block for a screenplay or something. But imagine us coming out and everyone getting almost set, and then they just swap sides. It's like, what the heck's happening,
bro?
I like if somebody's struggling, I feel like we have the flexibility of moving these guys. I don't think they're going to come out and audible to it, but they might come out drive after drive and be switching. And I think that's very interesting and a good issue to have.
Yeah, absolutely. And on your point of maybe they need somebody to rally around like they did Jerome Bettis, maybe that person to rally around is Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, that's kind of the next thing here. Aaron Rodgers re-signs with Pittsburgh. We get a 1-year deal, rumored to be $22 to $23 million in the base salary with incentives that can take it up to $25 million. He immediately at his first press conference indicates that that's it. He will no longer play after this upcoming season. It's his final season, which he kind of like danced around it last year. And DK was able to get him to say, well, maybe I'll play one more year, and he's all coy about it. But he's very definitive on he's not going to play beyond this season now. Maybe this is that opportunity where these guys, because from all accounts, the guys that played with him last year really liked him. Maybe this is the rallying cry of, hey, wouldn't it be really cool to be able to send Aaron Rodgers out on top? His first and only Super Bowl win of his career is against us. Wouldn't it be cool for him to end his career with a Super Bowl win with us?
Yes, NFL scriptwriters. Do you hear that?
You screwed us on the schedule. Give us this one.
Right.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome to, even as someone who obviously I don't like Aaron in the sense that he beat us in the Super Bowl. The same thing with frickin' McCarthy. But how awesome would it be that that's the way he goes out with his third legendary franchise that he's played for, quite frankly. Legendary for different reasons. The Jets are legendary because of all the mishaps. I still can't get over the butt fumble. But the same thing with McCarthy. It's the third. It is the legit third legendary team he's coached for. I mean, he's coached for probably the top 3 franchises in the NFL, if you don't include the Patriots. But I'm very excited to see what Eric can do because, again, a lot of last year he didn't have great blocking either. We had enough, and he had the fastest, pass time to release. Excuse me. Imagine what it's going to be like this year when he has an extra second to think. That doesn't seem like a long time, but holy crap, if you can get through another read and find a better guy to throw to, that's going to be awesome. And I think the improvements we've seen at the O-line, not trying to go back to that conversation, but I think Aaron's going to be very excited to see what these guys are doing in OTAs. And I think part of the youth on that offensive team is why he's at OTAs.
I was going to say, I'm like, I think it also helps not only trusting that O-line, because we even talked about that last season. Like, the O-line was good, the
Mhm.
least penalized O-line. And that's crazy that we were able to say that with some of our O-line mishaps in the in prior seasons. And
Yep.
so you have an O-line that you can trust that's going to make sure that you stay upright. But coming to OTAs to actually work with the wide receivers and make sure that he actually has chemistry with every option and every read that's on the field and not just two. So making sure that he's communicating and fixing the communication barrier that was very clear was a problem last season. So I think it's great that he actually did show up to OTAs and is worth it because he's getting paid almost double if he hits the incentive mark. So than last season. So
Yeah, I think that these two conversations are very intertwined. So I don't mind us bouncing back and forth between O-line and Rodgers and the new weapons, because I think this all really is a huge factor of it. When they went out and made that deal for Michael Pittman Jr., one of the first things that people said about him is that this is the perfect Aaron Rodgers receiver. With how Aaron likes to get the ball out quickly, likes to get it on time to somebody where they're supposed to be. That's what Michael Pittman does, is he wins at the line of scrimmage, and in those first couple of steps, he gets himself open. He's not a 4.340 guy. He's not burning down the field. But when you're trying to get the ball out quick, when you're trying to get that first down, he's the reliable dude that you can hit that will be open, and he will be exactly where he's supposed to be. And that's the story on Jeremy Bernard, too.
yes,
Jeremy Bernard is the same story. He's a dude that wins quickly. He's a great route runner. He's a very good hands catcher. Rodgers is looking at this like, dang, man, this is a nice trio. We know how he feels about Pat Freiermuth. You love Pat Freiermuth. We also know how he feels about Darnell Washington. He was ecstatic about throwing to Darnell Washington last year, and who wouldn't be having a target with that kind of catching radius? You can miss by a decent amount, and Darnell still catch the ball. So, that's pretty ideal for a quarterback when you get that much grace throwing to somebody. But I think, this is him looking at it and saying, wow, my biggest issues last year were the wide receiver core wasn't good enough. They go and attack that in free agency, and then again in the second round of the draft, and then a couple guys later on too, just in case. Maybe one of those is a diamond in the rough. And then maybe I didn't like the offensive line all that great. Oh, first round and third round, we upgraded the offensive line too. They did everything they could in this offseason to make it as appealing as possible for him to make one more final run with us. And I love that he's now going all in. He's at OTAs correcting people already at voluntary workouts saying, hey, man, you didn't run that route right. That's great. Let's get that out of the way now.
I also enjoyed his interview when he was asked about mentoring the younger guys, and he's like, to quote a former player that I played with, it's not in my job description, but he's willing, he's going to stay on Will Howard, and he's willing to help Drew Aller as much as he wants to be helped. I appreciate that out of him. Someone, again, I grew up not liking Aaron Rodgers. That's just being flat out. I thought he was very condescending. He was a little cocky, arrogant in some of his interviews and some of the things he his weird family dynamic, which is none of my business, but how it was handled was just strange to me. But seeing him come in and really lean into the mentorship role without certain things. And I mean, it's also funny how he responded to, some reporters asked him about his personal life, and he's like, I'm not going to tell you about my personal life. He's like, I was in Pittsburgh. I was here. I was doing stuff. And so I've grown to appreciate some of the things he does and says in these interviews and how he's handling himself. So I am looking forward to this year with Aaron at the helm again. And I'm really hoping and praying for a healthy season for that offense, because on paper, this is just, I'm having flashbacks to when we had certain players on the team. On paper, this is a stacked team.
Hopefully it stays on the field.
Is stacked as butterscotch ice cream?
Potentially.
Apparently what he was getting, butterscotch ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was like, what?
Yeah, he got photographed at an ice cream shop with his wife, and everyone was like, what else were you doing?
Yeah,
Cozy.
He was getting some ice cream with Pat Fryermuth.
Oh, was it Pat? Okay, my bad.
Yeah, he was with Pat.
I love that so much. That's so cute.
That's when the reporter tried to get him to say what he's been doing and everything. He's like, I'm not telling you. You already saw me getting ice cream.
Everybody's business.
Like, yeah, let me tell you where I'm at 24/7 so you can paparazzi me. No, thank you.
No.
Yeah, I like his approach on that one. Somebody from Pittsburgh now joining the Pittsburgh Steelers. We've got a corner who was one of the tryout players, Taman Lynham from the Pitt Panthers. He's 6'1" and 6'8", 189 pounds, ran a 4.56 40-yard dash.
Okay.
So a taller, leaner corner. Apparently has some experience in the slot too. So
love that.
Another addition to the corner room. Which will be something that we talk about when we get to the defensive side of the football. But today is wide receiver day. We're going to talk about the wide receivers in our meat and potatoes. But maybe meat and potatoes are something you could get at the Edinburgh Hotel Bar, Cody?
There's always a good chance of that, my friend.
Maybe not butterscotch ice cream, but definitely meat and potatoes.
Programming on Steelers by the Lake podcast is underwritten in part by the Edinburgh Hotel Bar at 100 Meadville Street in downtown Edinburgh, providing a variety of lunch and dinner items daily and featuring free buzzworthy pub trivia every Wednesday starting at 7 p.m. Details are available at 814-734-5103 or online at edinburghhotelbar.com.
Yeah, the Edinburgh Hotel Bar. Pat, the owner there, is a great guy, huge Steelers fan. If you ever get the chance to go, just sit down and chat with him about Steelers. He'll always be willing to talk about that. So appreciate them for the sponsorship as always. And I miss going there to eat, not going to lie. The sweet potato fries and the whatever the sweet dip thing is. I don't know what it is. Cinnamon something. I don't know. I'm missing that right now. But it is time for the meats and the potatoes.
Before we jump into that, did you want to touch on Kyle Busch real quick?
Yes. So obviously this is a Steelers podcast. Obviously this is a lot of talk about football. We do want to take a brief moment to recognize the loss in the NASCAR world of Kyle Busch, who passed away due to an illness. That's all that's being said. He was found unresponsive in a simulator less than 24 hours, I believe, before he passed. There's no true details about what happened, but we do want to take a moment just to pay our respects. When you want to talk about competition and things that we talk about in the NFL world all the time, Kyle Busch was a true competitor. Even though growing up, I thought he was, a turd, but he was good. He was always good. He was a very massive competitor. And so we do want to pay our respects to him and prayers to the family. He leaves behind 2 kids, if I'm not mistaken, and a wife. And that's just very, very sad. You never want to see anyone go through that. So praying for his wife, praying for his family, and praying for the NASCAR world as they have to move on now without the last big face in their league, in my opinion. So, yeah. But to happier things, it is time to talk about guys in the NFL right now on the Pittsburgh Steelers who play wide receiver and who are going to be battling for a position. There's a handful of these guys that, hey, they're in. And we kind of already discussed those guys, DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman, Jeremy Bernard. After that, and I'm being honest, after that, there's certain guys you want to see on the team because of where you drafted them or what you did to get them or whatever. But after that, it's kind of open for potential. There's guys on this team that have a chance of making the team, have a chance of not making the team. But let's chat about this. I'm going to put up on screen just for a minute. I know you guys probably can't see this very well, but we'll make it a little bit bigger here. Obviously, Jeremy Bernard, Cole Burgess, Brandon Johnson, DK Metcalf, A.T. Perry, Michael Pittman Jr., Ben Skoranek, the special teams maniac, Brandon Smith, Caden Wheatgen, and Roman Wilson. Obviously, I'd probably say Caden Wheatgen's the other guy that's guaranteed a spot right now. Yeah. But let's talk about these guys.
Yeah. To me, the next person to talk about, like you said, DK, Michael Pittman, Jeremy Bernard, they're guarantees, right? Yep. To me, the next closest, there's 2 guys that are almost locks for me. Caden Wheatgen, there's no way he doesn't make the team. He's a 4th-round pick, right? He's going to be the starting kick return and punt return man. So I don't think he's really in a roster battle per se, because I feel like his place is concrete. The next closest to me is Ben Skoranek. I think Ben just an absolutely all-world level gunner on special teams, just tremendous in the coverage unit, but does all the dirty work as a wide receiver. They've even used him as a quasi tight end blocking in line. He's a great blocking wide receiver. Had the first receiving touchdown of the season for the Steelers last year. So he can catch the ball. He can get yards after contact. He's a reliable dude that's going to do what he's supposed to do, which is the kind of thing that our current quarterback absolutely loves. So I don't see a real scenario that Ben Skoranek doesn't make this team barring injury. But then after that is the gigantic question mark, because I don't think for a second they're only keeping 5.
No. Well, we historically keep 6, right?
At least sometimes 7. And it's looking like it's going to be less at tight end this year, right? So
So it could be more.
Also, just a reminder, Ben Skoranek scored the first touchdown last year. I mean, just a slight reminder for everybody.
I mean, there's no world where he's not on the roster. And what we talked about a little bit, I don't know how many episodes ago, maybe when we were talking about some of the draft picks, when we've got a couple of these like safeties and corners that are going to be able to contribute on special teams, it's going to take some of those pressures off him, even though he's an incredible gunner and will still probably be utilized on special teams. But we might see more snaps with him being a blocking wide receiver or even a receiving wide receiver. And so I feel like utilizing the forces we have on our team will free him up to see more receptions and see more snaps at that wide receiver position.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think we got to talk about Roman Wilson here too, of course, the former 3rd round pick. He's going into his 3rd season as a Pittsburgh Steeler, switching jersey numbers over from 10 to 14 this season. And it's a huge year for him, because a 3rd round pick, we shouldn't be talking about as maybe the 6th guy on the roster as far as the wide receiver room. This should be the year where he's solidifying his spot as the number 3 guy, or even fighting for the number 2 position. Instead, they go out in free agency and get Michael Pittman, and then in the draft in the 2nd round, draft Jeremy Bernard. And it just screams that they have no idea what they've got in Roman Wilson. I don't think that they dislike him by any means. It's that he hasn't proven it enough yet. Part of this is injury related, right? Let's be honest. Missed his entire rookie season due to injury. Got a chance to get on the field a little bit last year, but at the end of the season was a healthy scratch a lot at the end of the year. And that was just a bad indication for how things were going likely in practice, because they weren't going to put him out there on the field if things weren't going smooth in practice. So he has everything to prove this preseason. This is a make it or break it preseason for former 3rd round pick Roman Wilson. And you don't want to be having this conversation about him, but moments like what we just saw, if you're watching on YouTube, he showed a couple of good hands catches in the end zone last year, where he had to just muscle it and squeeze onto that ball with everything he had and held onto it long enough to get the catch. So I really do think that there is potential there with Roman Wilson, but he's got to show it. So, man, he better be best friends with Will Howard and Drew Aller this preseason.
Yeah. Yep. No, I'm on board with, I think Roman Wilson, I want to see him get a lot of opportunities in the preseason, because I don't think he's been utilized to the best of his ability when he's been healthy, but it's because they've been trying to keep him healthy in my mind. You almost don't get opportunities because they want you to stay healthy, and then you keep getting re-injured or whatever it is. And being a healthy scratch at the end of the year, it destroys any chance you had of showing something. So I really hope he can stay healthy. I hope we get to see a lot of him in the preseason, because realistically, if I want anyone to make the back end of the roster, it's him. I'm excited to see what he can still do. I'm on board with Ben Skoranek being the guy that's going to make it because of his special teams play, obviously. But then after that, I mean, that may be it. That may be all you keep. There's a chance one more. Obviously, we talked about Caden Wheatgen. But if you keep Caden Wheatgen, Ben Skoranek, and the top 3 we already talked about, are you keeping a 6th one? And if it is, that's probably it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very intrigued to see, because these other guys on the team, Cole Burgess has been in the league for a year. He came out of Cortland State of New York. He's
Mhm.
6'1", 192. I don't even know if he has any NFL stats. Brandon Johnson's been I think was on the practice squad somewhat last year. 3
Yeah.
years in the league out of UCF. He's already 27 years old. Actually, Cole Burgess is also already 26. Then A.T. Perry's 6'5", 205, which is intriguing. If he's a block, and maybe he's a blocking guy. It's not like we need more size on that offense, but 2 years out of Wake Forest. And then you also have the Brandon Smith, wide receiver out of Iowa, who's been in the league for a year now, 6'2", 220. I don't know. It looks like it's a clear shot for Roman, but
Yeah. I think if there's anybody else in this conversation, it's probably more somebody we've already talked about, in Eli Heidenreich.
I was going to say behind Reich.
Yeah, because Heidenreich did line up a lot as a wide receiver for Navy, and I'm very interested to see if he gets that opportunity. Do they have Max Roman listed as a running back then?
they do still.
Okay, yeah. So that's another one. Last preseason, he played more as wide receiver than he did at running back.
I mean, he's number 84. It's not a running back number.
That's the
Yeah. So we'll consider him with this conversation, and I'll say that he's probably the biggest danger for Roman Wilson at this point.
Agreed.
Because let's be honest, Max popped a little bit last preseason, enough for us to get a little bit excited about him on this show. And enough that we really were hoping to retain him on the practice squad and maybe even use him during the season. So this is a big year for him also. But those guys are like very similar. The Hurlman and Eli Heidenreich conversation, I think, is very similar, except obviously you've got a draft pick involved with Heidenreich. So I'm looking forward to seeing those guys too. Are they a running back? Are they a wide receiver? Are they both guys? Man, let's let them do everything during the preseason. I don't want to see a whole bunch of snaps from Cole Burgess and Brandon Johnson if I can see stuff from Eli Heidenreich and Max Hurlman instead.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that's where the weight is anyway. So, but I would like piggybacking kind of what everybody else said of Wilson, this being a proving season for Wilson. I do think this kind of piggybacks with like where we're talking about with Rodgers and the chemistry, because I just don't necessarily think it was there with Rodgers and Wilson last season. And that was probably evident closer to the end of the season, which is why we didn't see Wilson on the field, because I'm sure we don't know what goes on in practice, but we can assume that it was not working between Rodgers and Wilson. And so why would you chance that during a game when Pittsburgh's always like, we've got to be competitive? And the last couple of games, unfortunately, we're do or die. So it could have been great opportunities to just put somebody like Roman Wilson in if we were dominant in those games and won when we needed to. But I digress. I think now that we've got Rodgers here for OTAs and we're working Howard and we're working Aller, like it's building that chemistry that we can then see in practices and hopefully these preseason games.
Yeah, and to your point, last season when everything was on the line, the season was going on and guys were starting to drop due to injury and suspension and whatnot. Pittsburgh went out and claimed Adam Thielen and then grabbed Marquez Valdez-Scantling instead of putting Roman Wilson out there.
Yep.
And let's be honest, Marquez Valdez-Scantling was pretty bad at the end of the year, and they were still marching him out in front of Roman Wilson, which was just a real bad sign for Roman, in my opinion. So I'm very hopeful that the work he's putting in this offseason pays off for him. I'd love to see him in some punt return, too. I know he doesn't really have that on his resume, but putting something like that out there would only help his value. And from what I understand is something that kind of hurt him at the end of the season and his ability to get on the field because he didn't have any resume or any tape showing that he could do special teams work, whether it be return duties or coverage duties. So hopefully he takes advantage of that this preseason and does some of that stuff to prove that he can.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's why we're talking about the Wheatgens and the Heidenreichs and the Hurlmans over Roman Wilson, because they have versatility in some retrospect. You know, you've got Hurlman who could be running back or wide receiver. You've got the same for Heidenreich. Like Steelers really value a versatile player. And so if you can bring something more to the table, that's why we're also talking about Skoranek over Wilson, because Skoranek is such a great gunner and he can catch the ball. Wilson, it's just you got to catch the ball. So like even if he can show up and really like become more blocking. I mean, he's not as big as DK and Pittman, but like if he can hold his own with coverage like that and then be able to receive, like add a layer to his play, I think we would see, hopefully we'll see more of him on the field. But I know Nick really loves him. So I feel like Nick's going to be on the, like watching the show being like, yes, fight for Roman Wilson.
I really want to see someone. I want to see one of these wide receivers in preseason. And this isn't even saying I want them to fight for a job, but I want to see one of these guys truly take advantage of the Steelers mentality and come out. I don't care how tall you are. I want to see a Hines Ward type block and just destroy somebody and make way for a run, for a screen pass, for something. I want to see us get back to the grind and the as James and I used to call it, the nasty. I believe we got that from somebody else, correct? Or was that a you thing? Did you get that from another podcast?
I don't know.
Anything?
I don't know.
Okay.
That might have been a Dave Bryan thing from Steelers Depot talking about wanting nasty offensive linemen.
Yeah.
know, because obviously big fan of his work.
Yeah. Want to give credit where credit is due, but we want to see the nasty in every position on that offensive line or offensive front, excuse me.
And there's potential for that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
There's potential to be the nasty, like gritty, hard hitting offense that everybody's scared of. There's potential, like you said earlier, Cody, and we've all said it. Like on paper, this looks great.
This team.
I wouldn't want to go against this team, but we need to see it on the field.
Yep. And that's why you draft a guy like Jennings Dunker, right? Mm-hmm. That's your tone-setting, nasty guard that's out there to just drive somebody into the ground with his flowing red locks all over the place. I love it. that mullet just putting people into the dirt. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. My favorite thing about him is actually he reminds me of the to some extent, he reminds me of a Hines Ward, not obviously in the catching atmosphere. Let me explain. This dude, James, you're going to agree with me in 5 seconds. This dude is always smiling.
Yes, he is.
Oh, okay.
Hines Ward would get tackled in the most brutal way, and he'd wake up and I'm like, and Jennings Dunker is going to be pile driving someone through and be like, "You good, man?" Like he's just like the happy redneck, and I love it. And watching his interviews recently has been very fun with how he talks. I mean, he's an avid reader. His Hail Bay toss game challenge, whatever competition that he's won twice. There's so much about this guy to be excited for, and I think he just comes in and he's an atmosphere setter. He's a guy that comes in and he's a thermostat or a thermostat, not a thermometer. He's going to come in and set the temperature in that room, not reflect any negativity or whatever. And so you love having those guys on the team, and I think he is going to make a great guard for many, many years to come. But let's not rush into getting done with a rookie contract for him yet. We want to see what we get out of this year. So I'm very excited. We bounce back to we keep going to that offensive line. We're very excited about it.
We're excited.
But this wide receiver group, I mean, you talk about the chance to dominate in both receiving and run blocking. It's this crew. Those top three guys are all going to destroy anyone who gets in their way. So
that's such an exciting thing for me because that's been missing for years, to me, basically since Juju left town. Juju is a fantastic run blocking wide receiver, and that's something that he learned from watching Antonio Brown, who is a very good blocking wide receiver also. I couldn't tell you how many times you'd see Antonio Brown spring somebody with a key block. He did the dirty work. Juju passed that work ethic on it, but it didn't go beyond Juju. He did it on the field, but guys saw what he did off the field and just did that and didn't do what he did on the field. And then it just kind of went away until last year we saw it with DK Metcalf, and that's why I think that signing was so important for Pittsburgh. I know that DK didn't put up 100 catches and 1,500 yards and 12 touchdowns or anything crazy like that, but what he did as a blocker was just as important as what he did receiving, and it's resetting the tone in the wide receiver room for Pittsburgh. It's getting it back to being I'm more physical than the defender that's opposite me, and that is so important. Multiple times last year, we saw Jalen Warren break long runs and DK Metcalf escorting him the whole way down. I saw something really funny the other day. A reporter was talking to Michael Pittman, and he asked him, so when the Steelers line up you and DK Metcalf and Darnell Washington all on one side of the field, do you have a name for that or anything? And he just kind of laughed. And he's like, no, but it's a pretty big group, isn't it?
I'd be shaking in my boots, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Think about those trips formations with Darnell Washington and DK Metcalf and Mike Pittman Jr. My God, man. And one of the most frustrating things for Cody in these last few years has been Pittsburgh's lack of success with wide receiver screens. They just haven't gone well. Now you're changing the game because with big wide receivers like this, you can do some wide receiver screens behind them. You can throw some to guys like Caden Wheatgen and Roman Wilson and Eli Heidenreich and these shorter, quicker dudes that have that ability to make people miss in short areas because Michael Pittman's going to make his block. Because Jeremy Bernard's going to make his block. Because DK Metcalf's going to make his block. All these dudes are going to make their blocks that they're supposed to that are going to allow those little screen plays to go from a 1 or 2 yard gain or getting blown up to possible big plays.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, Rodgers is going to love that stuff. He loves a short pass that can go long.
And what's nice about some of these picks, like these guys that we're talking about, if we would have made these selections last year, we would all be like exasperated because like, how are they going to get on the field? They're never going to see any time. They're not going to be used creatively. But we have such an offensive minded head coach, and he brought on so many offensive staff members that I'm like, oh, we could see something creative where we're seeing these screenplays and utilizing Wheatgen appropriately to where we're seeing those big, maybe 10-yard play, like getting the first down, like which we haven't seen in previous seasons as of recent. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this offense for the first time in what feels like a very long time.
And I'm excited about that sweep being effective.
Stay healthy.
Yeah, stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that sweep could be healthy and effective again this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying every year. I try not to get too positive because I know that week 1, week 2, I'll be like, dang it, what's happening?
Oh, we should be so positive. And I will be it is a flip of a quarter that I'm negative Nancy. So
yeah. It is a fun time. Any last thoughts for you guys about this team? Obviously, we're gonna do our way too early 53-man roster predictions at some point here soon. Probably not gonna do way too early at this point. But we'll be doing that eventually, and we'll talk about the wide receiver room more then. But any last thoughts on this room?
No, but we do have offensive line next week, so we're going to talk about that. That's a huge position battle. So the big boys, we might even eat some pancakes on the show just to keep it topical.
I love that.
I don't mind eating on the show. I don't mind eating ever. So let's just be clear here.
He said,
no, I do. I love it. I love it completely. The last thing I want to say real quick. Oh wait, no, that was different. So no mind. We're fine. We can't thank you guys enough. What?
The training season schedule?
Yeah. You want to talk that real quick? Training camp?
It was out. So I mean,
no, that's good. I got it right here. So training camp has been released. I don't know if any of us are planning on going.
I've never
I
gone.
would too. It's a fun time. I would have to go on a weekend, I think. They do have some Saturday.
They have Saturday.
Yeah. So let me do this and this. And so obviously July 29th starts the training camp, which is a Wednesday. They have the 30th, the 31st, the 1st of August, August 3rd, 4th, 6th, 7th are all things. I believe Saturday 8th is family night, if I'm not wrong.
They're doing a Saturday night lights instead of Friday night lights this year. So the high school practice is going to be a Saturday night, which I'm not sure which one it is on that schedule right offhand.
Yeah, and this one's being grayed out. I don't know why. Normally there's something telling you why one's grayed out and it's not there. So that's probably what that is. And then Monday the 10th, Tuesday the 11th, Saturday the 15th, which says TBD, which could be the Saturday Night Lights. Honestly, I'm not
that's
sure.
got to be that one. Yeah,
I don't know why the Saturday August 8th one is grayed out. But then Sunday the 16th and Monday the 17th, a lot of all these practices are open to the public. If you're watching on YouTube, it does say secure tickets. They're free. It just means you have to still technically register.
It's like
August 8th is grayed out because that is the Saturday night practice.
Okay.
At the Latrobe Memorial Stadium. So it'll be the Saturday night lights will be the August 8th practice.
Gotcha.
If you decide to go there, just saying, go early. It is a heavily attended thing. Cody and I tried to go 1 year and we got rained out. So
yeah, very unfortunate. We went Thursday, Friday, if I'm not mistaken, or Friday, Saturday. But either way, both practices got rained out. It's very unfortunate for us that are going. So
what I can tell people from experience, I've had the fortune to go to a number of practices. The first week is a lot of fun, but they won't put pads on probably the entire first week. So if you want to see Steelers hitting Steelers, that's not the week for it. Weekends are always way busier than weekdays. So if you can make it on a weekday, you got a much better chance of not having as many people fighting you in the crowd. I'm going to try to make it this year. I'm going to pick one of these days and try to get down there. So I'll let you guys know on the podcast, and also my co-hosts here too, and we'll see if we can all organize something. But it's a real good time. It's fun. You can interact with the players. If you decide to, you can position yourself in an area where you can get some autographs. If you do that, you kind of do miss some of the practice because you got to line up pretty early. But overall, fun experience. I've interacted with a number of players over the years because they can hear you. It's a quiet enough atmosphere. You're close enough to the field that you can holler out to somebody in between plays. And if they're close enough to you, and if it's a quiet enough situation, they might even respond to you. So it can be a very, very fun thing.
Yeah. So we can't thank you guys.
One year I got Hines Ward's autograph right after he won Super Bowl MVP.
Hey, there you go. What did he sign?
A hat. I have it somewhere. It's a white Steelers hat.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. I don't know where my
an autograph to show up.
I don't have a clue where it is, to be honest, but I know I have it.
The one I just got signed by I want to say Alex Highsmith. It was right back here. Now I don't know where it went. So that's fun. But we'll find it. Oh, it's up there. I lied. I see it. It's right
Fine memorabilia. You just don't know where it's at.
Yeah, it's all back there. I'm still my life is a mess right now. I got to get insulation. Listen, if anyone wants to sponsor the podcast and pay for some insulation, it'd help me in the mornings. It's cold in here. We can't thank you guys enough for listening. Be sure to like and follow on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Subscribe, ring the bell. It's free. Doesn't cost a thing on YouTube. Don't forget the 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts make James and everyone else very happy. Until next time, this is us signing off for James, Cody, Jill from Ohio, and Nick from the Woods.
Nick from the Woods.
Peace.